welcome. Thank you all again for joining us today. My name is Nina Ward. I am the Director of Programs and Events for Show Me KC Schools, and we are here today to learn more about all of our amazing pre-K school options in Kansas City. So we'll go ahead and get started. As a reminder, if everyone could put themselves on mute. If you have questions, feel free to type those in the chat. We will be monitoring that and asking those questions throughout the presentation. So I will go ahead and get started and just give a quick overview about what we do at Show Me KC Schools. So we have a plethora of programming that we provide, and essentially what we're here for is to help families learn all they can about their school options so that they can make the best informed decision about what schools are best fit for their student and their family. So we do that in a number of different ways. We have school fairs. We do have a upcoming pre-K fair that's happening on February 8th. Would love to see you for that. That's going to be at Central Library. Another great opportunity to learn more about pre-K options, and then also meet with different school representatives as well. And you'll also have the availability to complete school applications during that event as well. We do also have different workshops similar to this, and school tours that provide opportunities for families to learn more and interact with different educators in the space. We have an amazing online school guide on our website that provides information about all your school options in Kansas City. We also provide, excuse me, one-on-one navigation support. So if you've done all of that, you've looked at the website, maybe you've attended the fair or a tour, and you just need somebody to kind of talk this through with, we have that one-on-one navigation support available at our office. We also come to you. So if you ever need someone to meet you at a location in the community, we're absolutely willing to do that as well to support you with your school journey. We have a family resource center, again, that is located in our office. Again, another place where you can come and get support and also get assistance with submitting applications, completing your school enrollment and things like that. And we also have a handy school guide, and that is printed at several different locations throughout the city. And it's just another opportunity to take a look at all the amazing school options that we have in Kansas City and learn more about those all in one place. So today, I obviously gave you your welcome. The flow of things will kind of start with learning about the pre-K options in the Kansas City public school system. So we'll have some amazing representatives from KCPS to talk a little bit about the pre-K options that they have and also what that application process is like. In addition to that, we'll have our Director of School Navigation, Danielle Dispenza, talk about the pre-K co-op. So there's several different schools that are a part of that. So she'll kind of break that co-op down for us. We'll save some room for Q&A. And then wrap up at about 11 o'clock. Feel free to keep your cameras off or on, whatever is your preference. We want you to be comfortable and just take in the information. Again, you're welcome to pop those questions in the chat. I will occasionally come off mute and ask some of our presenters some of those questions that you all are sharing to make sure that all of your questions are being answered. And so with that, I will go ahead and stop my screen share and open the floor for our KCPS staff members to share about KCPS pre-K programming.
Good morning, everyone. I guess I'll go first. Thank you for joining us, as well as giving us the opportunity to share information about our early childhood program with the Kansas City Public Schools. My name is Dr. Dennis, and I have the pleasure of serving as the Early Learning Program Manager. Basically, I support all of our pre-K programs within the school district. Joining me today is the phenomenal Dr. Easton. She is our pre-K curriculum coordinator, phenomenal educator, and making sure that our teachers are always providing our scholars with play-based, high-quality education. And as well, joining me today is Miss Mary Winston. She is our phenomenal pre-K or early learning liaison. She supports us in so many ways. I can't list all of them today. And so we have the honor of coming to you today to share the good news about the Kansas City Public Schools Early Learning Program. And so just to get started, we have 17 locations. Yes, 17 locations throughout the district. We are, and I'm not from this area, so bear with me. We have several pre-K classrooms within our elementary sites, I guess would be like the northern part of Kansas City, as well as the central area where we have Garcia, Trailwoods, Rogers, and I'm going to go with the southern part of the city with AC Prep, Hartman, as well as Hellcook. All of our teachers are highly qualified educators who incorporate play-based learning for our scholars because our motto is pre-K, inspiring minds through play. We also partner with Operation Breakthrough, where we have 2 classrooms, and we're partnering with Operation Breakthrough through Phillips Elementary. And we have 3 classrooms at Emmanuel Center, where we partner through Carver Elementary to provide that community with 3 classrooms. Our early learning program also has 2 Montessori classrooms. We have one at, not classroom, but sites. We have a site at Holiday Montessori, which I want to say maybe southwest of the city. And then we also have, oh no, I think that's Border Star, sorry. And then we have Border Star, which is southwest. And then we have Holiday, which is, I'm going to go with southeast. So I hope those cardinal directions help. We also have Head Start as well. Yes, we have Head Start. We have a location at Richardson Elementary or Richardson Early Learning Center, and we have Woodland Learning Center. Our goal is to make sure that we are providing high quality instruction to our early learners because we set the foundation with regards to pre-K. So we want to make sure that parents have the opportunity to engage in one of our programs. And as I said, we support 3 and 4-year-olds within the school district. We also have our Parents as Teachers, which is a program that is very important because parents are our scholars' first teachers, and they influence our scholars from birth until beyond. There is no end to that. And so we have a phenomenal team of parents as teachers, supporters who go out in the community to support families from pregnancy all the way up to kindergarten, so that we want to make sure that we have a strong foundation for our scholars as well as our families, because we don't want any gaps in instruction. And so now I'm going to turn it on over to Ms. Winston, who may want to share some more information with you regarding our phenomenal programs with the Kansas City Public Schools pre-K and early learning. Ms. Winston, you're on mute.
Okay, so sorry. My name is Mary Winston, and I'm the early childhood liaison for the Kansas City Public Schools. I'm going to tell you about our before and after programs. I believe that they are awesome programs. We offer at sites based upon need. We will open a before and after site once we have 20 families that are interested in the program. Our ratio is 1 to 10, so that's 1 adult to every 10 children. We generally have two teachers in the room with 20 students. Okay. It is a fee-based program. We have the full pay is $2,000 for the entire year. There's nowhere where you're going to be able to find a daycare or any program to beat that. $2,000 for the year. We also have a sliding scale, which would be a partial payment of $1,500 for the year. as well as a half-pay fee, which is $1,000 for the year. And all of these two programs are based off of income. The parent will request a sliding scale, and with that, they would submit income verification, and based off of their income, they would either qualify for partial or full or half pay. We also have the Head Start programs, and currently their fee is $900 for the entire year. So again, you can't, those fees are, I mean, they are exceptional. They are really good. Most of our staff are current Kansas City Public Schools employees, meaning that they have or they're already employed with the district. And most work at the schools that they go into as a second assignment. And this is a benefit because they're familiar with our scholars. They, know little Johnny, and it's just an awesome thing for them to continue that relationship from the school day into the before and after. So I think that is, fees. Fees are due on the 15th of every month, before or on the 15th of every month. You can pay in person down at the board building, or you can pay through Infinite Campus. And you can also mail in, but that one takes a little longer, so I would use the other two. There is a $25 late fee if it's not paid by the 15th. So with that being said, I think I'm done.
All right. And if you all would indulge us just a moment, we've asked Dr. Easton to join us just to give you some insight about our curriculum. Dr. Easton is an expert in the field of curriculum and instruction, and we have her supporting our pre-K scholars. So I didn't want to let this time go by without her sharing and imparting some valuable knowledge with you. So Dr. Easton, take it away.
Thank you for that. I appreciate it. For curriculum, we use Creative Curriculum, which is an inquiry-based program that really focuses on student-centered sparking that student curiosity. And it's like hands-on through developmental centers and stations. So that's what we use. Teachers are, like Dr. Dennis said, are highly qualified and really embrace the idea of play-based learning. We use a combination of large group and small group instruction. With our teachers, we really focus on small group instruction as a core part of our program. So that's kind of just a gist. Like I said, we use Creative Curriculum in all of our classrooms. And then they have coaching, which is part of my job is to oversee the curriculum and then give the teachers coaching. So they have instructional coaching on a consistent basis to really move their scholars along developmentally. So that's just a gist of our curriculum that we use. So if anybody has any questions about Creative Curriculum, I can absolutely answer that. But I would imagine that most people are at least familiar with it. So that's a little bit about our curriculum.
I do have a question that came in the chat in reference to before and after care. And the participant would like to know how far in advance the decision is made for before and after care, if a site is going to have that available. You're on mute.
Okay, we have interest form that the parent would fill out, and they can fill that out. It should be coming up pretty quickly for them to be able to go into the interest form and fill that out for whatever school it is that their child will be attending. And by before the first week of school, we should know our numbers and whether or not we are offering the before and after at that site.
Okay, so we don't necessarily, as families are filling out applications now, we don't necessarily know which site would have that before and after care. Is that correct?
Not yet.
Okay, thank you. Just want to make sure that was clear for the family. Okay.
All right. And so now we're going to toss it over to Ms. Foster to give you some more information. She is our phenomenal KCPS enrollment and admissions personal team member that always comes through to support pre-K. So take it away, Ms. Foster, and thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Dennis. Good morning, everyone. Again, my name is Tanoa Foster, and I am the student recruiter for Kansas City Public Schools. And my role is just to add additional support to our families, whether or not it's about your application or if you just have general questions about our different school choices. Today, I just want to real briefly go over our application dates and deadlines. February 17th is our application deadline. This is when we are actually closing the application and sending out seats on February 17th. So what that means is after the 17th, you can still apply. However, there will be a greater chance that you may be placed on a waiting list. So we're trying to get all of our parents to apply by February 17th to give you a good opportunity to get your first choice. We allow you to select up to 3 schools, so I encourage you to select as many choices as you can, just in case your first choice is not available. If you have any questions, I'm always available, email, text message, or you can simply pick up the phone and give me a call. Our deadline is on February 17th. On February 27th, that is when you want to start checking your emails, because that is when we will start emailing parents letting you know if you have a seat or if you're placed on a waiting list. For all of our applications for pre-K, we do require at the time of the application, parents' ID or guardian's ID, your student's immunization record, just one proof of residency. So that can be your lease, a utility bill, anything from the government or a bank statement. We are just asking for one piece this year. And then we will also need the student's birth certificate. Again, if you have any questions, I will go ahead and put my phone number in the chat and as well as my email. Over to anyone else or?
Are there any questions for us at this time?
And is it okay just to ask?
Yeah.
And all the applications for the 17th, that all goes to the Infinite Campus portal? Okay. And if you have previously logged in and did the wait list and process last year, do you just pick back up from where you were?
Yes, just log, and it's actually easier than last year. So you'll just simply go in there and select your school choices.
Okay. If you remember your password, if you don't,
You can
what
reach
would you
out
do
to me.
then? I'm not saying that's me, but it might be.
You can reach out to me or admissions. Okay. I would say me. It's quicker to reach out
Okay.
to me.
Thank you.
All right. Any other questions for KCPS? I did have a question just come in through the chat. They want to know if there are any summer options. So I'm going to ask specifically for pre-K, and then feel free to share other ones, but are there pre-K summer options?
No, we don't offer pre-K summer school, but the district does provide summer school for rising kindergarten scholars. So those scholars who are going from pre-K to kindergarten can attend summer school. But as far as specifically for our pre-K programs, Head Start or Montessori, no ma'am, we do not.
Thank you for that. Tanoa, could you do me a favor? When you share your contact information, could you also share the link for the application? We'll also have that information come out in a follow-up email once we end this call. And so you'll have several different resources in there to include the link to the application as well, but it is in the chat now for you. Thank you so much. That was a lot of information. That was really, really helpful. I really appreciate that. I just screamed on the inside when I heard that families only needed to provide one piece of proof of residency this year. That is going to be amazing. I'm really excited about that. So kudos to whoever was a part of that decision. That's great. So we are going to keep this train rolling and go over to Danielle Dispenza, who is going to share with us about the Kansas City Pre-K Co-op.
Good morning, Nina. Thank you so much. And hello, it's so good to see everyone. So yeah, happy to be here today and to talk about and hear about all of these amazing pre-K options throughout our city. Kansas City Public Schools is clearly rocking it with so many different opportunities for families in a multitude of settings, which I think is great and exciting. From there, we have 20 public charter schools within these Kansas City public school boundaries. And I'm going to talk overall about those options today. So many of those public charter schools do offer pre-K. It can look a little differently. We have 4 public charter schools that offer a pre-K classroom within their elementary school building. That families are able to apply to through either the school or School App KC, which we'll talk about a little bit more. And then we also have some of those partnerships. We call those the Pre-K Co-op, just as a short term for all of us working within the landscape and in this pre-K field. But really what that means is that a particular school maybe doesn't have the space to have a pre-K classroom on site. And for families, that can be confusing, but pre-K classrooms and bathrooms and playgrounds are all specific to our very special little learners. And so oftentimes when we have community partners that have state-of-the-art facilities, it's a really natural pathway to create those partnerships. So when you hear the word pre-K co-op or off-site location, that means that a public charter school, and as was mentioned earlier, some of our Kansas City public schools have partnered with Operation Breakthrough, Emmanuel Early Learning, Early Start, just to name a few, to be able to provide pre-K opportunities as well. Those we do have listed out, Nina, on our Show Me KC Schools website. For those of you who haven't been to the website in a while, I have a very furry friend who's making a lot of noise. I apologize. Right now, she was quiet the whole time earlier, of course. For those of you who haven't been to the Show Me KC Schools website in a couple of months, I want you to know that we just launched an updated, fresh website. And pre-K, we are really trying to increase the level of information that we're getting out to you. So everything that we've talked about today, links and kind of a step-by-step, including all the information and links to our friends at Kansas City Public Schools are all there on that Show Me KC Schools website. But what's great for families is that we're trying to influence and provide a streamlined process. So if you're interested in Kansas City Public Schools, as Tanoa mentioned earlier, you're going to go through them to apply for their pre-K options. If you're interested in also applying for or exploring a pre-K classroom with one of those public charter schools, either at the location or at an offsite location, you can find the majority of those at schoolappkc.org. And we'll get that link in the chat for you as well. You're going to create a profile and you can apply to as many of those options as you would like. Again, as Tanoa mentioned earlier, pre-K, many pre-K seats, not all, but many pre-K seats are an income-based seat, which means that families do need to provide either a proof of income document or they're going to be asked to fill out a free and reduced lunch form. That's very, very common. Don't let that throw you off. Continue and proceed. And if you don't know if you're going to qualify, just apply and fill it out and let that process be taken care of by a professional who can input that information and let you know. We have also listed some of our private school providers that have early childhood centers on our website, as well as highlighting some of those community-based providers like Early Start Emmanuel that have Head Start options as well. A good reminder for families is that either through Kansas City Public Schools or through Mid-America Regional Council, applying for Head Start is another really important and great opportunity that I highly encourage families to do to see if you qualify. You can get set up in the Head Start or an early Head Start programs or within the queue and on wait list as early as I believe 6 weeks after your child is born. So I really recommend families getting applied through Head Start and getting on that list and keeping that up to date to try to secure a potential seat in that capacity as well. Let's see, I'm checking my cheat sheet here, Nina, and I think for the most part, I've covered everything. I did want to share just a fun video of one of these many pre-K options. Do we have time for that, Nina, or do you want me to hold on that?
No, we absolutely have time. Feel free to screen
Okay,
share.
perfect. Okay, Nina, can you see my screen okay? Perfect, thank you. All right, so this particular video is just one of a couple that we have, and it happens to feature Early Start, which I know I mentioned earlier. They provide pre-K co-op opportunities as that community partner. They're also a Head Start site. They have multiple locations, and honestly, this is just such a great representation of all kinds of the many options that are available. So here we go.
I am Deidre Anderson, and I am the CEO of Early Start, and welcome to St. Mark Child and Family Development Center. Our mission is to build bridges, inspire minds, and impact futures.
Welcome to St. Mark Early Start.
The benefits here at Early Start are pretty plentiful. We have very deep roots in the community, and as such, our art-based curriculum really seeks to make sure that we are not only sharing those gifts with the community, but sharing the gifts from the community with our children here at Early Start.
A lot of our students have gone through a lot of trauma at home. Our school is a very good fit for them, especially from a therapeutic stance. We do a lot of social, emotional curriculum and activities with them just to help them to be able to cope with everything that they have to deal with.
Art is a part of everything that we do. We used to be named United Intercity Services, but the name change is very fitting because from the first time you will emerge here at either 6 weeks all the way to age 5, we have a full-time art educator that supports all children in all classrooms, yes, including our babies, and your children will be exposed to an array of lay artists and professional arts organizations that are fostering that creativity, imagination, and whimsy within them.
So we establish artistic residencies in which some of the local creatives are able to bring in some of the amazing things that they do and teach our children. This is something I haven't seen in any other early education center in the area and actually anywhere I've worked. So it's pretty amazing. And I think that the children have a very unique experience that they'll go home and talk about for years to come.
One of the other amazing benefits of participating in any of our programs is an extension of learning through parenting education and all kinds of other resources and supports for you as families to ensure that there is a bridge between school and home.
To find out more information about Early Start,
you can go to earlystartkc.org. You can also still find us at uicskc.org. We're on all social media, and you can call 816-994-5400 to get more enrollment information.
It's always so fun to see those itty bitty tiny little learners. While I have the screen share on, I am going to go ahead and just pop everyone over. Nina, did that transfer over okay? Perfect. Thank you. So just to let you know, Show Me KC Schools website, as I said before, has gone through a little bit of a revamp. And I just wanted to share how we had broken the preschool or pre-K options out. This is still a little bit of a work in progress. So there's some details that maybe might be missing on some schools. But as you can see, they're listed in alphabetical order. You're going to see some of those public charter schools, and then you're also going to see all of those pre-K options, be it in a signature school, an elementary school, or their two early learning centers, Richardson and Woodland. We've got Tanoa's email linked for you so that you're just one click away from being in touch with her if you have additional questions. And then there are some private pay options on here as well, Nina, because everything that we've talked about today has really focused on the options that are available. I'm going to go ahead and stop our screen share here so I can see everyone again. Our options that are available within those public school settings. But there are a myriad of different childcare facilities that do have a curriculum or a focus for their 4 and 5-year-old, pre-K kiddos. We have some of those faith-based options, options that are part-time to full-time, and a lot of different resources. So again, pop over to showmekcschools.org to see the links for all of those. And then if you're in one of your local Kansas City public libraries, as Nina said before, you can find a School Guide KC, and we've updated and added 4 pages worth of pre-K information. And this most recent edition that you'll see is highlighted in yellow. I'll stop there if anyone has any questions.
Thank you, Danielle. That was helpful. Any questions? We want to pause to make sure that we're answering any questions that folks have. If not, I will share my screen again. So is just a reminder for the upcoming important dates that we have. Again, as I mentioned in the beginning, we do have a pre-K school fair that's happening on February 8th. That's going to be at the Central Library in downtown Kansas City. As Tanoa mentioned, KCPS application deadline is going to be February 17th. And then the School App KC lottery deadline is March 1st. I think I had a question come through the chat. Just give me 1 second. I gotta flip the screen. Is the school fair all day? No. So the pre-K fair starts at 6 p.m. and we'll be there till about 7:30 p.m. And if that is a time that's not working out with your schedule, feel free to contact us and we can arrange a time for you to come by our office or meet you somewhere else and kind of go over these options and connect you with different school personnel as well. So we thank you for joining us today. I do ask that participants, if you have a moment, if you could please scan the QR code on the screen and complete the survey that we have. These help us to continue to provide free programming for Kansas City families to help them understand what the Kansas City school landscape is like and have information they need to make school choice decisions. And so we thank you for your time for that. I'm going to stop sharing my screen again. I'll give you 1 more second to scan that QR code. And we'll also have a link for that. That comes in our follow-up email. I do want to open up one last time before we end the session to see if anybody has any questions. And feel free to come off mute.
I have one more question. One thing, as I've been researching options, and I was the one who asked about the summer options, I guess I'm trying to understand that, because my understanding is maybe there are some programs that are year-round option, maybe not KCPS ones, but like maybe, I don't know if Early Start is, but I guess I'm trying to figure out, like, on the resources that I've got, how to tell which ones offer year-round services versus just school year services?
The easiest thing is going to be to connect with that school representative that's in charge of enrollment. They go by several different names. It could be the community engagement manager, it could be a family liaison, but all schools kind of do it differently. And so, for example, Early Start and Della Lamb, they absolutely have students there over the summer. The question is, do their partner charter school sites, are those classrooms open? And it just kind of depends on what that particular charter school has set up for the summer and if they're allowing that. Some of them have different partnerships and have worked things out to be able to provide summer care in a separate classroom, so that it's not easy. So I don't want to make it out like it's easy to contact all those different people and find out that information, but that's the way that you're going to get the more accurate answer to that, because it kind of does change year to year based off what schools are doing for summer programming. Great question. Someone asked a question in the chat: what is the best resource for determining if a school offers more comprehensive services if a child has support needs? So on our website, you'll get some information, a kind of snapshot of the school. I think that's a really good place to start. But making sure that you, again, are connecting with school representatives to talk through what those individual needs may be. Because some things are very specific to students. We've had experience with students that needed different devices for because they had hearing impairments. There's a plethora of different things and different needs that families and students have. And so I think it's always a really good rule of thumb just to remember to connect with the school representatives and kind of talk through those specific needs. Also connecting with us and our navigators like Danielle and Trisha McGee, who's also on the call, is a great step as well, because we have a lot of experience with schools. And so we kind of know things that they've provided in the past, but it's really good to kind of talk through with someone what those specific needs are, so we can make sure that we're pointing you to the right direction.
Nina, I'll layer in, if you don't mind, as well, because we did not specifically mention early childhood special education. So Kansas City Public Schools on their website does have the contact information for early childhood special education. So again, to Nina's point, this is very individualized. If your student has gone through an evaluation through your pediatric provider or through an educational partner like First Steps and has a diagnosis and is maybe already receiving services, there are natural pathways for you to be able to then get set up for early intervention services within early childhood special education starting at age 3. So that's for 3 to 5 year olds. And again, those different levels of accommodations can be offered at other public school and public charter school sites, but it can vary. If we have a student that has some higher needs, the school district is going to propose some of their locations where they've really equipped those classrooms with the facilities and the staff to meet the needs of those students. We do also have a few private or Head Start based early intervention programs as well. Ability KC and Children's Center for the Visually Impaired are a couple that that Kansas Cityans may be familiar with their longstanding history. So again, you can get connected to them. And I know that, as Nina said before, unfortunately, this pre-K landscape can be a little confusing. Those providers are offering seats for families through a lot of different financial, funnels. And so it's all about the allocation and where your family fits within that. But yeah, please feel free to reach out to any of us. And thank you for putting that special education information in the chat, Trisha, so that families can have that.
Thank you. That's great. I want to pause here to see if there's any other questions. Well, we thank you. I want to thank our presenters one more time Thank you for sharing some of your time with us and providing this vital information to Kansas City families. We will provide this recording on our social media platform, so feel free to share with people in your community so that they have the information as well. Again, we'll have a follow-up email that we'll send out that has contact information for Show Me KC schools as well as KCPS and resources to applications and our upcoming events as well. Thank you all again. We're going to give you a little bit of time back in your day, and I hope you all have a great rest of your week. Thank you so much.